scan goes down, and there goes that DT. Amazing work. Just completely counters it. The main base was taken out of commission. The SCV is now going to repair and scan just to see if there were any. In general, he is going to go ahead and scan once more just to see anything that there is left to see of those DTs. Now, I do expect another expansion to come down. Ooh, 2 pylons, so you will see an expansion from ZorroW here quickly. Meanwhile, the army is slowly bolstering up after that harassment. Does he still have his warp prism? Yes, it is hidden back in his base. Going to continue to go for the thermal lance and charge upgrades from the Bay, as well as his Twilight Council. He does not go for blink. He wants the Zealots to deal with those Marauders. Now, if he keeps these DTs out, he can attack after he knows scans have been put down. Just do damage as the army moves across. And a planetary fortress has been put down for Williams' second expansion, and the third does go down for ZorroW as well. Very good decision. I love planetary fortresses. However, once again, he does get supply blocked. A little bit of mechanics issues. He's kind of scrambling to get ahead with those. You don't even see supply drops coming down, and he's even queuing up his units. He has gone into panic mode. This happens a lot when nerves are a factor. I do not know if Wildarms is technically at par for Masters League. You don't see that too often. He's even building an engineering bay in the middle of his main. He is really scrambling. Nerves have caught him off guard. Meanwhile, this Marine Marauder and Medevac push is on its way, so he will try and deal with it as he can. However, the timing with this expansion will cause the army to be less. Templar Archives is also going down for ZorroW, so he can get High Templar to deal with this MMM build. Very good for late game, which you are slowly approaching into. Zealots moving forward. They now have charge, so they will be able to do some serious damage against an army of that size. He needs more Colossi, however. He does have 2 in there. It's a decent amount, but I'd love to see a bit more in there. He is going to warp in even more Zealots. Very effective army at this point. He does have a slight advantage in supply. He does have his third expansion now underway. Any minute now you will see the workers move over. And he's even going for another forge to get increased upgrades. He is going on to weapons level 2, as well as the same thing for the Infernal Pre-Igniter. Wow, I'm surprised, Wildarms, you are going for Hellions at this point to deal harassment on this expansion. However, there are cannons, so he will see them coming, and he will be able to somewhat defend against him, especially with pylons and warp gate finished. With a nice chunk of gates, it does seem he has 5 gates ready to warp in. Orbital Command is going to send down more mules to the space. However, you should see more SCVs moving down here to deal with that, and sure enough, he does. The army is very defensive at this point. He does have a decent army to do some attacking. For that wall off. Now, I do like how ZorroW is managing to stay just ahead of the curve. He is, however, supply blocked again. This is one of the strangest games I have seen in a while. Now, this is something to be noted, as Ghosts have gone, yes, the Ghost Academy has gone down. You will see Ghosts. Very effective with EMP, however, if he goes for nukes, I will laugh out loud. Literally, I will not just lol. I will laugh out loud. Now, Wildarms even goes for a sensor tower. You could definitely tell that he's got some nerve issues or just hasn't played against this insanity before. They're both thrown off their base based on the Dark Templar and the early Forge. However, I do think ZorroW is in somewhat control of this game. He is barely managing to stay ahead. Do see the 4th expansion. That is huge. Meanwhile, DT preventing an extra expansion from going down in the near future. At this point, you do see more Ghosts on the way with Vikings to handle the Colossi. The expansion is now fully, almost working on being saturated. He does have his main not even saturated to the point where it is getting depleted. A decent job, however. Ooh, he's even going to lift off another base to another location. That is interesting to me. Oh, wait, that's just his factory. Oh, my goodness. Now, nothing's really being made on the line of his Nexi. Seeing as how it ends with US, I'm going to say Nexi. His 4th expansion is going down. Now, Archons being moved in with his High Templar turning into Archons. Very effective against the MMM build due to the fact that they have that splash damage. It's all about how he kind of handles his stimming, his timing. He is going for nukes with his Ghosts. Oh, I am excited to see this. Nukes are always an event to be cherished. You don't see them very often, especially in higher play in the Masters League. I am so stoked. The expansion is almost complete. Will you see an early sending of these units to Colossi, kind of hidden in the mass of Zealots and Marauders. Basically maxed out on his army, decides if he's going to push, he might as well push now. I don't like how his Stalkers are in front. The Zealots can charge ahead but do some serious damage. I guess he wants to stay back and defend these drones as they come in. And 2 more Stalkers to guarantee that max out. Meanwhile, a lot of Vikings and even a Raven to deal with DTs as they come out. This army does look like it's a little bit better. We know how awesome Terran can be when they are maxed, especially when they have a good composition of Marines, Marauders with the upgrades. I want to see what they exactly have. They do not have Concussive Shell, but they do have Stim, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Meanwhile, Armor level 2 is being done for the infantry, so the Marauders and Marines will have extra defenses, even Hellions to do some serious damage. The scan does go down. Meanwhile, EMPs aplenty going down. Will you see any Psystorm? No, because the High Templar are not there yet. Psystorms will come down. However, the Colossi are being focused by the Vikings. This battle heavily in favor of Terran. However, they are backing away. They are afraid. Psystorms coming down on them, but a little late because the High Templar were not close enough. The engagement was started by Terran. They can hold back and destroy this Archon with these Marauders. Wow, even the ground armor level 2 is going down for Protoss, but they are at such a disadvantage. So much damage done. Amazing work with the early EMPs to neutralize the energy of the sentries. So no force fields, no guardian shields. However, looking at the income tab, they are actually very close in matter of harvesters. You should see an expansion come down soon. Maybe in the top position because there is a DT there. However, a simple scan can allow his army to move that over there. Looking at the units lost as well, it seems like they are once again very close, but it seems like ZorroW has lost more. So the advantage does go for Wildarms, especially with his increase in army and supply. Now, at the meantime, he is going to go for more Hellions, even more Medivacs and Ghosts, Ravens, just going for his overall build to be increased. More gateways going down, a little late for that. I don't know, he just really wants to get the reinforcements in there quickly. Nothing you can do about it now. It is a little late. He does have a lot of High Templar. They are starting to get their energy back, so you will see more feedback and Psystorm, but feedback will be useless. No energy by these Medivacs, so they are healing when they can. Interesting stims that you see by the Marines. He is, in fact, going to move down here and deal with anything that he sees. Is the Raven coming with? Yes, it will, so it will see this DT. He's even running for his life. Not worth it. He basically knows the expansion is coming when it can. Meanwhile, level 3 upgrades going down for him as well. Now, a Shields level 1 upgrade, kind of a dire thing to get for ZorroW as he goes along with it. Oh, this has been a very lulls-worthy game. Ooh, the DT has been spotted by the Raven, and there it goes. DT is not very good use for ZorroW at this moment. He needs to focus on getting a proper combination of units. He does have an observer to spot any stealth units, but nothing to really be feared. He is going to go ahead, Wildarms is going to build a bunker. So Wildarms, congratulations with the stress that you dealt with. However, you are allowing him to move on. You had the larger army. You should have pushed forward and done some damage. More scans going down across the map. Does scout the army, does see exactly what he's got. He sees the Archon, sees a lot of Templar, and sees even more Stalkers. Do they even have Blink? Yes, they do. Good for him. However, another Warp Prism going down, not as effective. He needs to focus on getting more Colossi, or, due to the intense Viking count, should get Immortals. So, I mean, with the minerals that he has as well, not the greatest game I would have seen. I'm surprised that this is from Masters. They are not playing at their best, I would say. The command centers have been moved. He actually double expands, so very risky, but he has the army for it. Why not? You got enough minerals. Why not build even more bunkers? He's even going to build another command center. I wonder if he'll put that in either a close position or here. Meanwhile, the engagement is beginning. These Dark Templar will be spotted eventually, but they... Oh, defensive nuke. Kind of seen early by the Protoss unit, and I'm just saying.